Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Paps here, back with another video, and today, as you can see from the title, we're going to be going over some more air roll talk. It's going to be a bit more intermediate, so if you have not checked out my last video, which has to do with more beginner stuff, such as keeping your car in the air and just controlling your car in general, basically, with air roll left, I would suggest checking that out. But if you're good with that stuff and you want to talk about a bit more advanced topics, feel free to stick around and we can perhaps learn some more directional air roll stuff. With that being said, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer, anything you're confused about, please feel free to comment on this video and ask me any questions you have. I'd love to answer stuff. I'd love to make videos and stuff helping people. So yeah, again, feel free to comment down below anything you'd like me to explain. But if you would like to check out my whole entire playlist dedicated to air roll content, please feel free to check that out too. It has a lot of different content, answers a lot of different questions, and honestly may have the answer to the question that you're asking me or planning on asking me for this video. Anyways, with that being said, if you want to stay in contact with me outside of my streams, which are on Twitch, I stream pretty much every day, link in the description, please feel free to join my Discord, also link in the description. Also, I have Instagram, Twitter, blah blah blah, all that stuff in the description. Anyways, with that being said, let's get into the air roll video. We're going to start off by talking about dismounting from the walls, how to get to the ceiling, and how to land on your wheels properly with directional air roll. And then we're going to get into the meat of the video, which is going to be the most difficult part, I would say, is how to control your direction in the air with directional air roll. So yeah, first let's talk about how to dismount from the wall, and this includes going for an aerial shot, like coming off the wall like this, and also includes how to just, you know, land on your wheels like this. And I think now is a good time to talk about implementing air roll into your directional air roll gameplay. If you use both directional air rolls, this won't really apply to you, but I think for the vast majority of people, they have a directional air roll and a regular air roll button. So let's go ahead and talk about how to do these things with air roll and directional air roll. For me, if I'm off the wall, coming off the wall in the air in any way, I am using air roll left most likely. So as you can see from the left wall, I'm simply just tornado spinning off the wall, putting yourself in a position where your car is able to keep itself in the air. I see a lot of people come off the wall like this, like maybe too sideways, and then they can't control their car, or maybe they're facing their car down and they're like, how do I keep my car up? You want to have your car like this most of the time, facing upwards, facing the ceiling. That way it gives you an actual chance to keep your car in the air, especially when you're spinning. Take a sip of coffee here. Same thing goes with the right wall. I would like to talk about the right wall too, because people have questions about that as well. Same thing applies. You want to keep your car faced up towards the ceiling, because again, if you have your car sideways or down, you're not really giving yourself a chance to spin off the wall and keep your what's the word, airtime? I don't really know. Basically, you're just not giving yourself a chance to control your car in the air off the wall. So that's basically how you dismount in the air. And I'll just show you, like, okay, that wasn't really what I wanted to do. So when the ball is coming from this side on the left wall, again, just tornado spin. And when the ball is coming from this side on the right wall, same concept, just a little bit more spinning. Anyways, now that we talked about off the wall in the air, let's talk about off the wall to get back to the ground. What I do mostly, to be honest, is I will use air roll to get back on the ground. I would suggest you guys do the same. It's probably the most effective way to recover off the sidewall. I wouldn't suggest using directional air roll off the sidewall. It makes it a bit tougher. Like, If I'm trying to use arrow left here, it's fine. But if I'm trying to use arrow left off this wall, sorry, this wall, it makes it a little bit tougher because I have to do a full spin. Whereas if I just do this and arrow right, with regular arrow, it's fine. So basically what I'm trying to say is if you're trying to recover off the wall, I would suggest using arrow. If you do really want to use directional arrow, then that's fine too. But I would suggest using arrow. A lot of people ask me that question. Do you still use arrow? Do you only use directional arrow? And again, I've answered it in the comments. But to put it in a video, yes, I do use arrow still quite a bit. Okay, with that being said, let's move on to the next topic. How to get to the ceiling with directional arrow. And basically what I do is I will just, again, tornado spin or reverse tornado spin to the ceiling. Let me just do a custom training to show you guys exactly how to do it. So I pop the ball up and I just tornado spin to the ceiling. Pop the ball up, tornado spin to the ceiling. It's kind of hard to give exact stick movements because it's just muscle memory at this point. But it's not much different from air rolling to the ceiling. I mean, if you really wanted to, if you have air roll bound, you still could air roll to the ceiling. It's probably a bit faster to air roll. As you can see, I'm just popping myself up. But for some reason, using directional air roll just looks cooler. People in my chat tell me the same thing. So yeah, that's really all you do. It's not much different from regular air roll, but it's good to have it like visualized and put in a video. That way you guys can kind of emulate it and see. Sometimes people think that there's like some secret trick, but in reality, it's, like I said, the same thing. Anyways, now let's talk about landing on your wheels, and this includes more than just off the wall, but I'm gonna give the same general tip. If you're making minor adjustments and want to land on your wheels, you should be implementing air roll into your gameplay along with directional air roll. If I'm landing on the walls, some of the times I will just use air roll and then air roll left and then switch to air roll at the last second so I can power slide and recover better. But it also is good to have your timing down with your directional air roll to the point where you can land on surfaces and not overturn or overcorrect yourself, if that makes sense. Because sometimes, you know, like, oh, I gotta land, and then you just spin too much and you don't hit your wheels. So that's another thing you want to get good at, is get your timing down with directional air roll. But even if you don't, it honestly might be more effective just to use regular air roll to not only land on a surface, but you should have power slide bound to your air roll button, and you can power slide to recover even better, if that makes sense. I mean, it does make sense, of course. That's what I do. And not that everything I do is perfect and the best in the game, but I do like to think that I have some sense on how to play the game properly after 7,000 hours. Okay. Time to get into the meat and potatoes of the video. I'm going to do a timestamp for this for those that don't want to watch all that more basic stuff. So let's go ahead and talk about how to change directions in the air. And this is probably one of the most asked questions I get about directional air roll. So I'm going to try to explain this as simply and as thoroughly as possible. So you've mastered doing this, but now you're asking yourself the question, how do I go right? How do I go left? It's a lot simpler than you think. Basically, all you want to be doing is orienting your car in the direction you'd like to go. And it's a visual thing and a muscle memory thing. After a while, you're going to be able to do it without even really paying attention. But at first, you're going to want to just, okay, my car's pointing this way. Okay, my car's pointing this way. You want to really pay attention to what direction your car is pointing in, because that's going to help you go in whatever direction you want. So again, I'll just show you slowly how exactly I'm doing that. So if I want to go right, I'll turn my car this way and go right. If I want to go left, I turn my car this way and go left. If I want to go this way, want to go this way. It's basically whatever direction your car is pointing, and then you can go frontwards and backwards. So as you can see, like if I want to go frontwards this way, I can face my car. If I want to go this way, I can do the same thing. And the same thing with going backwards. If I want to go backwards, I can go like that, or I can fully turn my car around. Same thing with left. Same thing with right. It's just basically how good you are with car control in the air. That's just a very basic way of looking at it. Again, I'm trying to explain this as simply as possible, but just because you only have air roll left or just because you only have air roll right doesn't mean you're only going to be able to turn or, you know, go in that direction. I think a lot of people get confused with that. So again, it's all about which way you're boosting, which way your car is facing, and it becomes muscle memory over time. But at first, just like I said, pay attention to which way your car is facing. That's the most important thing. And now I talked about it and explained it very simply. I'm going to give you guys some training drills and give you guys some ways to practice this. And since I'm going to be all platform friendly, I'm not going to do any workshop maps. I'm going to first talk about how to do it in free play. I've talked about both of these in videos before, but I figured I would keep it all together for this video. So one, what you can do is just air roll around the ball. Keep ball cam on and just air roll around the ball. And this will help you with turning and going different directions. And maybe if you want to make it harder, switch it up between, and just make sure you're constantly air rolling, constantly trying to reorient your car, go left, go right, maybe go over the ball, bring yourself to the other side, and then go back. If you want to make it a bit harder, you can try to go farther away from the ball, stay right below the ceiling or something, and then bring yourself in closer. Try to go lower to the ground. Like, you can make this as hard as you really want to. It's just the self-imposed rules you want to make. This is a great way of changing directions and learning how to kind of spin and orient your car with directional air roll. The second way you could practice, I would say, is to go to free play on the pillars map. And basically what you want to do, you can kind of fly around the map in any way you want, but I've suggested this before, but doing figure eights on this map is super, super, super helpful. And again, I'll just show you what it looks like. You just want to be flying around. It's basically like a more advanced version of what I just showed you in free play. Fly around, air roll, orient your car, and just go around, spin, and try your best to make it hard for yourself. Again, this is a great way to learn how to change directions, control your spin, and give yourself that extra directional air roll experience and muscle memory. Because if you get good with this, you're gonna be getting into the advanced level of directional air roll quite soon. And again, it's not gonna be overnight. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna take a while. But training with these different exercises and training while making it tough for yourself, I should say. I was gonna say something else, but I kind of forgot. But making it tough for yourself with these exercises is gonna make it a lot better for you in the long run. So yeah, definitely be using those drills and be using those exercises to improve. Sorry it took me quite a while to get to the meat of this video, but I really wanted to talk about dismounting, recovering, getting to the ceiling, because even though stuff like that seems simple and you might learn it over time, it's obviously nice to have a video where someone shows you exactly how to do it, or you can watch me do it and emulate it. And plus, I've got a lot of questions on those specific things. but definitely more so the last topic, the changing directions in the air. I will put timestamps to, or I will put a timestamp to talking about controlling your direction in the air. I really, really, really hope I explained that well enough, or showed it well enough. This is a topic where people have an infinite amount of questions, pretty much. So I'm really trying my best to explain it in a way that's gonna appease to all people. So I genuinely hope I helped you guys. If I didn't, again, ask questions. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.